Well, good evening, everyone, both here in person at Borough Hall and online via Zoom. Welcome to the continuation of the Hopewell Borough Council January 2nd reorganization and regular meeting. For everyone who's not on council or professionals, at 6 o'clock, we started the meeting with an executive session. There was no action taken, and we will now resume our public part of the meeting with our oaths of office. If you're watching again online or here, we did start with the flag salutes. I don't think we missed it, but we did open a meeting with that earlier when we started for executive session. We're now resuming the meeting, which is item 7. If you're following on the agenda, the public resuming the public session, and we'll start with the 2 oaths of office for ceremonial oaths of office for Deborah Steeler on her re-election, and then for Anthony Fuller on his election. So. One up, Bob. So let's kind of where we were before. So you in front of the flag. Bob, you're next to her, and it just as a showmanship item, I'll note that that thing there is broadcasted to people on Zoom, and we also have people here. So your angle is probably perfect, okay, so that people online can see. So I'll say we practiced this before, but let's Deborah, if you want to repeat after me. I, Deborah Steeler.
I, Deborah Steeler.
Do solemnly affirm.
Do solemnly affirm.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
And the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
And that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
And that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
And to the governments established in the United States.
And to the government established in the United States.
And this state.
And in the state.
Under the authority of the people.
Under the authority of the people.
I further solemnly affirm.
I further do solemnly affirm.
That I will faithfully.
That I will faithfully.
Impartially.
Impartially.
And justly.
And justly.
Perform all of the duties.
Perform all of the duties.
Of the office I'm about to enter.
Of the office I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Thank you. Anthony, would you like to join me? Happily volunteer for you. You raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Anthony Fuller.
I, Anthony Fuller.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
And the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
And that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
And I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
And to the governments established in the United States.
And to the government established in the United States.
And in this state.
And in this state.
Under the authority of the people.
Under the authority of the people.
I further do solemnly swear.
I further do solemnly swear.
Faithfully.
That I will faithfully.
Impartially.
Impartially.
And justly perform.
And justly perform.
All of the duties of the office I'm about to enter.
All of the duties of the office I'm about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you. We will. I will sign and. Thank you so much. I'll now open the floor for nomination of council president for the 2025 year.
I would like to nominate Councilman David Key with his years of service to the community, expertise in several of the issues facing this time. I think that he is an excellent choice for president 2025.
Thank you, Krista. Do we have a second?
I second that.
Any other discussion or nominations? Not. I'll take a roll call or by affirmation. All those in favor of Councilman Mackey's assignment as council president for the year.
Aye.
Any opposed? Congratulations. Thank you. Now, this evening's meeting is a little different than our normal meetings. We have many opportunities for public comment. Without me to restrict anyone, I'm gonna open up the first um, portion of the meeting for public comment. And I think this would be an excellent time if anyone had any comments about the organization part of the meeting or about the nomination that we just had. This would be a great time for it. Of course, you can comment about anything, but there will be two other times this evening for comments about general things, business items that we were having. So with that, happy to open the meeting to the public for comments, public comment, both in person or if you're online, feel free to push the raised hand button. Seeing none on either, I'll take a motion to close the public comment for this first of many, I assure you, public comment opportunities.
Motion.
We got a motion, we have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you so much. As a kind of point of personal privilege, I just have a couple of, just things to say here on our organization. Good evening and happy new year to everyone. Congratulations, Deb and Anthony, on your swearing in, and really thank you to both, along with all of our volunteers, for your interest in serving this community. If we could, let's just give them both a round of applause and thank you. I also want to thank and recognize Councilman Chris Weaver for serving Council President in 2024. Her guidance and leadership, particularly in taking the gavel on one of our most challenging topics that we've had, particularly one where I had to recuse myself and she had to run the meetings, was and is particularly invaluable and above and beyond the normal call of duty for Council President. I'll say, as a fellow volunteer of school-aged children, I know the toll that commitment can take. And half of everyone here in the borough, I thank everyone for doing it. And while still finding the time to land us one of the biggest pedestrian safety grants issued in the entire state of New Jersey, being the driving force behind our safer downtown for our residents, businesses, and visitors. When we look back at our successes and challenges as a community, her efforts in regard really topped the list this year. And these are generational positives that we have accomplished and look forward to. From our 25-mile-an-hour speed limit to more than $1.5 million in state funds we will soon get to spend on safety improvements around our borough. So if those of you join me in thanking. A couple more just thank yous up and down here the dais. I want to thank Councilwoman Millennius for efforts towards our environmental and business initiatives. Our green team has accomplished, and I've got some, I see we have some other green team representatives here, has accomplished so much this past year, and that momentum continues to grow. Our downtown has been beautified with planning considerations that are the efforts of our environmental community and our business community, and bringing these groups together. Our downtown is being elevated on so many of those. Heidi, thank you. Had a pre-existing family obligation, in your first year. She has had so much to be proud of, and we have to be thankful for her commitment to building relationships has and will continue to pay dividends for this community. Councilwoman Steeler, I'm thankful for what you've done in your first 2 terms, and thank you for continuing on with a third, and I'm very excited what comes next. Your work to bring our community together with events and with help our businesses and grounds will continue to benefit residents, businesses, and visitors alike. This year, we'll have a chance to focus on Public Works Complex, and your guidance and input will continue to be instrumental, as it has with everything we've done from our library system on down. So thank you. Council President Mackey, honored to say that for the first time. Your knowledge, leadership, and dedication from your first days of service some 25 years ago is frankly understood. In 2025, we'll be tackling as a community really one of the hardest questions that we will ever have to face. I could not imagine addressing the affordability of our drinking water without your leadership on redevelopment, on affordable housing, or public works building. It's a very long list. And I look forward this year to you helping to shape our agenda as a town, as we come together to put our best foot forward and solve these problems together. David, thank you. And for our team of professionals, many of whom our others were here earlier for executive session. Thank you for all the time and constant effort you put in. Doug and Reggie, we are so lucky to have you here manning our, not just with expertise, but your commitment to our residents and businesses. Doug in particular, taking this extra time to meet with people and businesses at wacky hours and even at times bringing donuts. I'll say no one, I don't understand it. I love donuts. People don't seem to like donuts, but nonetheless, he keeps bringing them. And we're honestly very thankful for all of you, our entire team at DPW, all professionals, Reggie, Christine. We are very lucky to have a wonderful team here. And I'm personally thankful, and I know we all are. 2025 will be challenging, but I have every confidence that the people of this community, led by my friends and colleagues on both sides of this table, will continue to come together and show the caring, inclusive, and welcoming place that Hopewell Borough has always been. As we have in 2024, everything that we do will eye towards being as inclusive and open as we can. But putting our meetings online, inviting dialogues via Zoom, having engaged events and hours when it works for residents and not our arbitrary schedules, that's our way. We are writing our history here, but it'll continue to be one of special meetings, better communications, and more input. It's not possible for everyone to agree on every topic, but we can all agree to listen, to share and act with compassion that brings people to this special place. Our inclusivity, affordability, and our environment. This will be the year where the next decades are shaped. We will darken our skies in 2025, but raise up the light on everything we do as a community and everything we can. To our volunteers here in the room and online and at your homes tonight, I cannot thank you enough. This year, we will be leaning on your time, talent, but I honestly pray much less of your treasure than we have in the past to make it become more affordable. I wish everyone a wonderful new year with gratitude and excitement about what we can do this year together. So thank you all, and thank you, everyone. We'll get to our next piece of our reorganization. I would love to entertain on item 13 a motion to approve resolutions 02 through 26 for our reorganization schedule. We have a second?
I'll second.
Deb second, all in favor? No, we gotta do a roll.
Mr. Fuller,
Yes.
Mr. Mackey,
Yes.
Ms. Steeler,
Yes.
Ms. Weaver.
Yes.
Ms. Flanagan.
Yes.
Next, I'll take a motion to confirm appointments A for Q with the extended apologies to my colleagues and Ms. Tyler for the aisle for bearing with me this past week. I tend to have more time to more personally talk about some of these, so to the extent these are anything beyond what we were expecting, it is with an open invitation that we continue discussing and figure out the appropriate places for every. With that, I would love to take a motion to confirm the appointments. So,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. So that concludes the first meeting. We have our reorganization part of the meeting, and we'll now turn to our regular monthly business. And with that, I will open the motion. I will open the meeting to the public, excuse me. Well, we had a comment opportunity before. We have this one, and certainly we'll have another one later in the meeting, but now's a perfect opportunity for anyone here in person or online to make a comment or ask a question. So please come up to the front. And I'll just don't need your address, but name for the record and welcome.
Scott Ford, I was just reappointed to the green team.
Thank you.
And I am here in part about the green team. I'm gonna steal a little bit of Heidi's comment for later. We have a potluck coming up, just wanna announce that. It'll be on January 26th at the railroad station from 5 to 7. And it's gonna have an optional puzzle swap at that meeting, and we're gonna invite everybody to come and maybe get involved in the team.
And there's a flyer in the back of the room.
There's a flyer, I believe.
Upstairs.
And there was something else about that, I think. maybe I'm the other thing that I'm here for, which is the harvest fair. So now I'm on the green team, I'm on the harvest fair board. I'm on the council, I'm the vice president of the harvest fair. And we have a potluck also coming up. It'll be on Sunday, the 12th of January at the Hopewell Presbyterian Church from 2 to 4. And here we're going to be recruiting, hopefully, some volunteers to join the planning committee. We need bodies on the planning committee. So that's what we're gonna have our first little recruiting potluck. I don't think we're calling it zero waste because we're gonna have plates, cups, napkins provided, but bring a snack. You know, that's the idea. So that's really all I'm here to make sure everyone's aware of. So get the word out that we're gonna have this coming up real soon. And then, now I remember, the green team thing. The green team thing that we want to talk about is also coming up in February. It's the scrap metal collection that we're gonna do in conjunction with the Hopewell Borough and Hopewell, I'm sorry, Pennington Borough and Hopewell Township. We're gonna be doing this jointly at the Hopewell Township Public Works, collecting scrap metal from 12 to 3 on the Saturday before the Super Bowl. So just getting that right too. That's really all I'm here to talk about.
Thank you so much. And, well, thank you for your sort of many hats.
Yes.
And actually, before you sit down, I don't know if it's too early, if it's been set yet, maybe that's what the planning does, but is there a date yet for possible for Harvest Fair if
Yes.
we're calendar people and want to make sure we're not.
I think we did, let me just double check it, September.
And you're welcome to share it elsewhere. I don't mean to. put it on the spot.
I think it was gonna be September 21st, but I'll double check it.
Okay, thank you.
And will there
Thank
be
you.
more hats for sale?
Well, there's only one way to get that hat, right,
Yes.
Scott?
Oh, you gotta volunteer.
I was volunteer, yeah, for a while.
Yeah.
This is when Heidi was chair.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll open the invitation again to online, push your raise hand button or if you're in person. Not seeing any, I'll take a motion to close this next public session to the public. Second. Okay. Slightly out of order, I think this might be a misread or agenda on my part, apologies. But we have committed and will continue to do at each meeting going forward, a brief update on anything involving our water system. Tonight on our agenda, there will be a couple things involving the potential sale of our water system. We have a resolution accepting essentially the qualifications of 3 different companies that responded to our RFQ, request for qualifications, that we will be moving forward, and then we'll be releasing an RFP, a request for proposals to those 3 companies for them to put together their possible interest and proposal to us for us to evaluate. So that would after tonight go out with a plan that we would have proposals back by the end of this month, if I have that correct. January. Yep. Following that, council and the water committee will evaluate and have an opportunity to pick one that we think is worth discussing terms with and enter into negotiations. Following which, if council believes that we could get to a place that is worth advancing, we would essentially advance those terms to a point where we could potentially have a referendum on a possible sale in November of this year, November 2025 general election. And that would be the general schedule, with a lot of work for council and our professionals in the water committee to do in the coming months. But that would be let's update as I see it. Krista, David, anything else you'd like to add? I think that's very well. Yeah. Thank you. I guess I took the out of order. I suppose that's all right then, right? Item 4, we have a report of our works and water and sewer staff on our packet. Any questions on those, maybe direct to our administrator at this point. If not, I would happily take item 5 as a minutes from the December 5th meeting. I would take a motion from anyone who is eligible. Our newest member was not at that meeting, so or it's not available, though, I don't think, right? Yeah, yeah, I don't want to deprive someone of the opportunity, but so with that, we'll move it. All right, do we have a second? Any discussion or comments, changes?
No.
Otherwise, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, all opposed? Thank you so much. Our next 2 items are first readings of ordinances. These are items that we start tonight and have public hearings on with specific comment, question opportunities at our February meeting. First, item 6, ordinance 892, for disabled veteran deduction. Reggie, if you could read that one by title.
An ordinance to amend the code of the Borough of Hopewell, Mercer County, State of New Jersey, to add disabled veteran property tax exemption.
Doug, if you could help with the explanation on this one, I believe this is a state program that has been only fully implemented by the borough, and this kind of closes the loop and.
Yeah, and what we're doing is we're making, it's for the year that you file. So we're not looking in the rears, you can't come in and go back 4 or 5 years for the
There
tax
was a,
tax credit.
I guess, a potential reading of the way it had been implemented, that if you were to ask for it now, that you might be able to go back in time and get a considerable
Yeah.
back years, which would be
So this
very
keeps-
expensive.
Just keeps it the tax year, the calendar.
I'll take a motion to introduce ordinance 892.
All motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, all roll.
Mr. Fuller,
Yes.
Mr. Key,
Yes.
Ms. Taylor, Ms. Weaver,
Yes.
Ms. Lanius.
Yes.
This next one, first reading of 893. Reggie, want to read this one by title?
An ordinance of the Borough of Hopewell, County of Mercer, New Jersey, regarding water, fire hydrant, and sewer rates and standby fire connection fees, and amending chapters 10 and 17 of the revised general ordinances of the Borough of Hopewell, 1975.
So I'll make an attempt, and then I will yield my colleagues who will want me to help make sure that I didn't miss it. But our rates is our 2-step process. We have on our books by ordinance a range where we can set the rates by resolution. The introduction of this ordinance would allow us in February to change the ranges, but without separate action, not necessarily change the rates themselves. If those of you following our efforts to allocate what we think is fair, these expenses between, frankly, our biggest water users in the business community and residents, we made a change end of last year, essentially lowering the rates as much as we could for our biggest users. And we actually hit the limit in our ordinance of where we could reduce them. The new rate structure would give us more flexibility to potentially lower those further. To do that, we would have to raise rates on our other customers, as well as look at other parts of our program that are, essentially outdated, whether it's the standby water pipes or hydrants, ensure that what we, if we were to change them in the future, that it matches our ordinance. David, Krista, Doug?
No, I think you encapsulated it, and just, as far as hydrant fees, we have a county hydrant fee for, those are charged to the fire district or right now we have a range at the bottom of 0. So in other words, you don't necessarily have to impose fire hydrant fees. The larger utilities such as New Jersey are gonna all do, and most other water systems do. It's something that we might potentially phase in a gradual way, because we don't want to add a, substantial, budget item to the fire district, but at the same time, it helps pay for the cost of maintaining the infrastructure and so on. So this is designed with a range at the upper level of which is the highest we were able to go, the lower is 0, and by resolution, this gives us the option of doing that at an appropriate time at an appropriate level, having been worked in concert with the fire district so that, nobody's surprised. And the same is true so we have these standby fire connection fees, which apply to sprinkler systems. And right now, We haven't actually been charging for that service and we still may not, it's hard to know, but again, we're building in flexibility into the rate structure to do that. And then again, as you said, with our rates for actual water usage, we've expanded the ranges to give us more flexibility. As we, and this is also important because if we do go down the path of actually selling the water utility, there'll be the question of what our rates are at the time of sale. And what's negotiated in terms of future rates, and so. Our objective is obviously to have the lowest rates that we can now, but we also. Want to make sure that whatever we have in place, if we sell the system, is the lowest possible. It gives us flexibility, balance costs is all. Which is really what you just said, but anyway, I just speak.
And we don't set the actual rates until
No.
after we,
Right,
right.
and the beauty of the structure is that, so the rate ordinance, which obviously, you know, is a two-step process, an introduction and public hearing and adoption. Once you set those ranges, as long as they're broad enough to encompass whatever we would do, we can by resolution change the rates
Within that range.
within that range, whatever we want to, as a single step process through a vote. So that gives us the flexibility to do all that. And so it's a good system.
I'll say that flexibility, apologies to anyone else if this was not Doug's idea, I think it was, so thank you for tuning us into this concept, because it's the flexibility that allowed us to act at the end of last year in time to adjust our rates before bills. And if we don't have these ranges, we will, you know, there's a very short period where we can look at something to actually affect something before you get a bill, which happened every quarter. So it allowed us to right size things a little bit better at the end of last year, and will continue to give us that flexibility. We, I don't know if there's specifically a recommendation yet. We're working on one and from the water committee, but we would have the opportunity in February to make another adjustment that would hit before a future bill. Right.
Oh, and also, so sewer rates are also a part of this as well. And so I'll just mention that briefly, unless did you want to talk about sewer? Okay. So it's a modest, it's a change in the ranges again that would allow us to impose a modest increase in the sewer rate. And that's a part to do two things. One, we have manhole frame replacements on the streets that we have to do, which are related to our stormwater need, and also controlling what we call infiltration and inflow, which is stormwater coming into the sewer system, blowing the pipe and going to the treatment plant that nobody wants to pay to treat and shouldn't be going there. So we also have other what we call I&I projects that we need to be looking at. There's interestingly enough on the water distribution system, you're always concerned about water in terms of losing water. With the sewer collection system, you're concerned about rainwater, some stormwater coming into the system, because it's essentially adding to the flow and increasing our costs, and also increasing the burden on the treatment plant. So that's a constant process of looking for leaks and trying to mitigate those as well, and sometimes using video cameras and so on. So this is giving us some flexibility to increase the revenue a little bit for sewers. It's a modest increase to help support those efforts.
With that, I'll take a motion to introduce 893. Yeah. So let's.
Deb's got no Deb.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Fuller,
Yes.
Mr. Matt,
Yes.
Ms. Steeler, Ms.
Yes.
Weaver, Ms. Ennis.
Yes.
Our next, on our consent agenda, resolutions 2025 through 30. I'm happy to take any of these out if anyone has any questions or an issue in particular. Otherwise, I would take a motion to approve by consent 27 through 30.
So maybe just a quick discussion on
29. Yeah, I think that's.
Yeah, I thought that would be good. So item resolution 2025-29 is designation of qualified response. So that is taking action. We, as Ryan explained, we've got a RFQ, request for qualification, for potential, buyers, interested buyers for the water system. And we reviewed their applications, or not applications, but their credentials, I should say. And our professionals did as well, both from a fiscal standpoint and an engineering standpoint and a legal standpoint. And I think we all determined that basically all three of them meet the qualifications. So this is, you're not appointing anybody, you're simply saying that they are now qualified to receive an actual request for a proposal. Because it's a two-step process. So this would be a determination that they've met the qualifications. And I believe also in there, Lisa, it authorizes us to issue the RFP, correct? Or it authorizes, right, that's so. And so the next step is, which is gonna happen pretty soon, is to actually send out the request for proposal to those same three respondents. And that starts the clock. It leaves 1 month for them to respond and to provide us with proposals.
So they're misnumbered in our notes here. I don't know if that matters for the formal process, right?
I'm not sure what.
I think the agenda it's
It's
number
number 30,
25,
on the, when we receive it, it's 29 in here, so I don't know if that matters.
So sorry, the agenda looking at is that the form of resolution had a different number from the distribution.
So I'm for the formal, all my respondents is 20, 25, 30.
So sorry, I don't know what you're looking at. So you're looking at a printed copy or electronic copy of the resolution
Yes.
itself
Yes,
as compared to the.
yes,
Right, so
the paper.
I think
I don't know if it matters, it's all right.
I think that we just added a few items, since that was distributed, is my guess.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
no,
I see.
there's no 29 in one.
Okay, got it. Well, I don't,
Mine has, I don't know what version that is.
So,
There were a lot of.
Oh, what was that?
Okay.
so,
It's on here.
It's on.
so.
It's
the-
30,
It's
it's 30 in this copy.
Oh, I know, it's the actual resolution, so it's hard.
What's?
I
just wanna make sure that you know.
It's the same or not.
They're all good. I'm not
Okay.
sure.
I'm sure they're new, but I just don't want there to be an issue because this.
I'm sure if there was a discrepancy, we'd be able to adjust it.
Work it out, yeah.
With, just two other kind of notes, following what David said, you know, when we started this process. We weren't sure what interest there would be in it, and, we've now, tonight are qualifying 3 different companies. And that there's nothing, there's no reason, not to share this, but New Jersey American, Aqua and Viola, the 3 largest, companies in New Jersey have all expressed interest and in participating and looking at our system, which certainly our goal was to have competition and to, you know, if we are going to offer a choice here to make sure that we had the best option and the best deal, so to speak, for the community to consider, and having 3 respondents is certainly a great step towards that. So Krista, Dave, our professionals for everything that they've done to get the word out and have 3 different companies show interest in the process.
And the work on the RFP, which has been a Herculean task.
A lot of fun.
Again, the team has been amazing on this then.
So with that, I'll take a motion to approve 27th, right, I believe 30, but to whatever the number should be. All right, Anthony, okay,
Second.
all right, all roll call.
Mr. Fuller.
Yes.
Mr. Mackey.
Yes.
Ms. Steeler.
Yes.
Ms. Weaver.
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Well, next take a motion to approve claims for payments by roll call. I'll get it right eventually.
Okay, so we did,
Sorry, this is item 8, right?
Yeah.
right, but we, oh, that's right, we were talking about this separately.
Yes, we did pull it out.
Sorry, just making sure we covered.
Yep.
Okay, got it.
Sorry, with the motion to.
We need a second.
I'll second.
Yeah, all right.
Mr. Fuller.
Yes.
Mr. Mackey.
Yeah.
Ms. Steeler.
Yes.
Ms. Weaver.
Yes.
Ms. Williams.
Yes.
This has been an evening of many public comment opportunities, and I'm gonna use my prerogative to add a 17th to it. And invite our neighbor and county commissioner, 2 of our county commissioners, actually, unless they're about to tell me that there's more people in the parking lot, then I'll go slower. But commissioners, I'm happy to open the floor to our two guests here and thank them for joining us this evening on behalf of our re-elected and new council persons. So, Commissioners, if you want to come up front, if you wouldn't mind coming closer to the podium, we have a camera in the center here that should capture you for online.
For here?
viewers. That'll do it.
Always want to at least stop through, especially during reorg, to let you guys know how special you guys are to us. So you guys do good work here in Hopewell Borough. I always want to make sure that you guys know that we're watching at the county level. Anytime you just, we're here. I said years ago that people always talk about politics. The real magic of politics is making sure that you have somebody's phone number that you can call when things go wrong, right? And so we want to make sure we're always connected with you all and the work that you do here. And we're really grateful for the work that you do here in Borough, making sure that you're connected with the rest of the county. So congratulations once again for victory.
Thank you.
I really can't add much except that you guys really have, I've just been seeing things chopped off the list that has been running in Hopewell Borough's collective minds for a long time. And I mean, I see almost every week, we are voting on something Hopewell Borough related where the county and the borough intersect. So you guys are getting a phenomenal amount of work done for your residents. I see the Wobble community, I see that, coming to an even brighter fruition as I try to slow down. Just slow down.
I was crawling on my way.
Yeah. Thank goodness that the kennel that we stay is a little bit outside of town, so I did not have to encroach too much further, but you guys are doing a phenomenal job. We really are so happy to have you as part of our county because you are great to work with and we'll be, you know where I live. And
You also know that she's being sworn in as the chair of the Mercer County Board of Commissioners on Monday.
Opportunity and thank you, Sam, for that. Having been a mayor, for a couple of years, including during a really difficult time in world's history, where the connections among governmental levels was the critical piece to serving your community. I have told our board and I have told business administrator and anyone else who will listen that I have two main objectives this year that I like to further. And one is to increase shared services between the county and our municipalities. I think there was a little bit of a lack of that at the time in 2020. And we have an opportunity to reinvent that partnership in ways that make sense for each community, because it's not going to be the same for all of them. And then directly out of that experience, getting our health department to be a leader in the community rather than kind of the behind the scenes support staff that it has played that role for a while. So if there are more ways that Hopewell Borough would like the county to stand side by side with them, call me, because that's what, for me, this is about.
Thank you.
Can you state your name?
Sorry, Kristen McLaughlin.
Samuel Frisbee.
Can I say something, guys?
Yeah, you
Sit down. I just want to say thank you so much on your support with lowering the speed limit and inhibiting right turns on red. When I speak with other advocates outside of Mercer County, they're like, how did you get that to happen? I just have to say, we have amazing people at the county level and it's been such a pleasure to work with, so thank you.
Thank you for touching and agreeing with us on that one. We never do anything that a municipality doesn't want done. But we have the right partner in our county executive, because as you know, we've been fighting about that for probably 6-7 years. But the right county executive at the right time, who said no, make sure that.
We had two changes this year, a new county executive and we had a new person on council pushing that through. So we're very, very excited. Thank you guys Want to please extend our thanks to the county executive, to our whole team, not just this week. You know, we've been working with the engineering office, for example, on these very issues. They are there with us at every step, and we're very thankful. I'll say this out loud so that I remember to do it last year. I know you guys have been racing. It was a straight line though, from Ewing to the township to here. I talked to Mayor Peters Manning earlier today, and we will take it upon ourselves to make sure that we coordinate a little bit better for next year so that we're not.
20 minutes would be great.
Hey, look, you guys know you rigged, because my wife was being sworn in Trenton, so I was there first.
It's linear
It was linear, exactly.
from Suffolk County out to this area here, Oxford County in the borough. Thank you both so much. Please extend our thanks and appreciation to the rest of the board of directors and the entire team of the county.
Excellent. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Since it was a reopened public comment, I'll certainly extend the continued courtesy if anyone else would like to say something here in person or raise their hand online before I take a motion to close this. I think 17th of 18 public comment sections of our time. Seeing none, I'll take that motion. Second? Second. All in favor? Next item on our agenda is our Borough Council liaison reports. Because Anthony just started, we'll start with him and just know that there's something that we're expecting you to have said or done at this point, but if you, the floor is yours. If there's anything you'd like to say, and just from my perspective, I'm sure from everyone here on both sides of the dais, welcome. Thank you for your service here. We're very excited to have you.
Well, thank you very much. And just very briefly, I really appreciate the opportunity to join the council. I think, as Ryan said before, 2025 will bring some significant decisions for the borough, and I think it's a huge privilege to be here at this time. I think that it's easy to get lost in some of the procedural details and some of the facts and kind of deep data behind some of the questions. I think what we need to also remember the human and the community aspect of these big decisions, because some of the things we're facing this year, I think, will have repercussions for years, even generations to come. So it's a very exciting time to be on council, and I appreciate all the support I've had from everybody on council so far. I've been able to help me learn the ropes, and looking forward to working with the staff of the borough as well, and of course to remain in communication with the entire community. But thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Ted, you wanna go next?
Yeah, hi, looking forward to 2025, I think we're gonna have a great year. First, committee coming up is January 6th, the library board of trustees is meeting, we've got some new members, so we're very excited about next year. Recreation committee is meeting, shortly after that, and I've got some great events, I think we're gonna fold, some events that made part of the EDC potentially into the recreation committee, with we have some new people that are very excited about joining the team and come up with some great ideas. And that's about it for now. The committee will come up soon, and the other committees with me, so.
When's the block party? That's all we've been.
June, yeah, we are starting at the block party this year, and it's June 7th. I'll save the date, yeah.
David, you wanna go next?
Sure. I think we've talked about most of the water related issues going on, but I can just, I want to thank all of the team that we have in the borough, which is so extraordinary, both on the council on this side of the dais and the other. It's what really makes it worth doing, being part of all this. We've got a lot of challenges ahead of us. We've got a lot of challenges this year. It's really an exceptional group of people, the way everybody works together to get things done. And it's very gratifying, I think, to be part of that team. So thank you all, and thank you, Krista, for being council president last year. I have some high heels to fill. Not big, but there you go. Puts me off balance, but thank you, and Anthony, welcome. It's really great having you on board. We've had some great discussions so far, and I know you've got a lot of great skills, and you're a thought person and in the community, so it's wonderful to have you on board. And looking forward to it. And following up.
Thank you. I didn't know some of your thoughts were one of our many-headed friends, but,
Listen, I really appreciate that. Thank you. You did some of my job and, but I also really appreciate all the work that you've done, Scott, for the green team. He's really like the motor behind the Hopewell faction of the green team, so thank you. So on the green team and I am, very, I'm very pleased with all we've accomplished so far. And really kind of got this new momentum going. So I really invite the community, to anybody who might be interested in becoming a part of that momentum or not, to join us at potluck. And that will be shared by the borough email and social media. Because we're really hoping to kind of, just see where we go with that momentum. And then on the EDC front, I'm very happy to be passing the torch over to Sherry Hook, who's not here tonight. But I think we've gotten ourselves to a good place with EDC, and we had a really productive discussion at our December meeting about getting together, having a formal plan and proposal to come before council within a couple of months. And so EDC with Sherry as liaison will be reporting back on that in a couple of months. And it's been a very, it's been a good year. It's been an interesting year. I appreciate working with everyone here and with everyone in the community, the and our staff. So thank you, everyone. Look forward to it, looking forward to 2025, I think, I hope. That we just have to cautious.
Yes.
We're going with cautious optimism.
thank you.
I don't have so much to report. PD staff met after a bit of a hiatus earlier this month, or last month, I still think it's December, excuse me. So we agreed that moving forward, we're probably meeting more quarterly or as needed, depending on how people's schedules seem to fall. So that is the update with PD staff. And I still just want to really quickly because David is here, thanking everyone else on the team. But I just need to mention the tremendous amount of work that David puts into all of our water, sewer, everything is incredible. So we really need to give him additional thanks. And to spread the love a little bit more, Mayor Kennedy was here, thanking everyone. And we haven't even said anything about the work that he's done. And since we don't want to be here till 10, I'm not gonna start listing everything that he's done this year, but can we believe that it's only been 1 year?
Right.
It's been, to borrow Heidi's word, an interesting year, right?
You've unearthed a lot of
Well,
things.
Last 600 months has been a really. A few quick things from me. I had the privilege and confusion of attending some, I'm glad it seems resolved, but a lot of thought from the state perspective and the federal perspective, I guess, went into attempting to share some information which they did not have about the drones in our area. I did attend and was befuddled by that, but we appreciate our state government and federal government's attempt to share some information. If I had actually anything useful to share, I would. I do not.
So saying shoot them down, right?
Yeah. I do wanna, I wanna thank Doug and all of our residents who came out to the special Sunday edition we had of our coffee meetup. I think that's been a success, and I'm looking forward to more conversations with everyone around the borough. I think the idea of it becoming a bit of a road tour, with some different locations, might be a neat way to connect with more people. We have a beautiful tent now, so perhaps we can do it at the park when it's warm. But keep an eye on the website. We're going to continue to do office hours as other ways to connect with residents, businesses. I want to appreciate and just confirm again, for our business or property or community that we're here to help and to discuss anything involving a property that you may have. We don't always have the answers, but if you're looking to do business in town, help a property, work a project, we are here. Feel free to reach out to me or to Doug, our administrator. We rarely meet with people looking to do business in or with town, and we don't always have all of the answers, but we're here to try to help you navigate what we have, and particularly with our recent, as of last month, rehabilitation designation. There are more tools that we hope to have in the future for businesses and developments, people looking to invest in our town. So I appreciate even this, so conversations I had with potential folks on that, both positive and negative. I'll say we're here to talk if you have a great idea. We're also been reaching out to I'll just say folks or property owners that may use a little extra help in moving their properties along. We will continue to do that. Those conversations have been eye-opening and helpful. We'll continue to do that. One last thing, we as a community, and I think I speak for myself and the rest of council, we are really committed to being inclusive and meeting and exceeding what the state calls our obligation, but what we call our plan. Frankly, this is what our affordable housing in Hopewell Borough is not something we're doing because someone said we have to. It is what I believe our community and this council wants to do and continue to do and will be doing. Having said that, there are some administrative things, one of which we took tonight, frankly, appointing our assessor as a position to help with some of the reporting requirements that the state has that have to happen in short order. That was one of our consent items this evening, and we'll likely have a second meeting this month. We have by the end of this month, to respond to the administrative numbers that we have received from the state about our affordable housing and should be. And we'll be meeting on the 23rd to I guess approve the steps to send or to confirm or whatever we have to do with that number back. When you look at the schedule of our meetings going forward this year, our general plan is to continue meeting on the first Thursday of the month. There are a lot of things to do this year. So we have set into our schedule potential additional meetings. It is not our plan at the moment to meet twice a month. But we have set and will set a series of possible dates where we might have, I'll say a quick meeting, but possibly a one topic or a second meeting for the month that will all be on the website and in our weekly newsletters. When you see the list of meetings, don't immediately think it is daunting, but we don't expect to need to meet twice a month, every month, even if it looks like that. And if we do, I apologize to everyone here and my family, but that's not the plan. It's just to have the options going forward.
Didn't somebody say something about donuts earlier?
Oh, and the donuts weren't so popular. So we could try bagels, we could try donuts,
Maybe brownies. If it's
brownies. We will keep through all the major food groups, from donuts to, as long as it's carbohydrate here, we are good with that. Well, to that point, again, I'm gonna also just thank, there's nothing to announce, but our professionals and team have been keeping eye towards things we can put in motion to make sure our businesses would have the opportunities for additional licenses should they arrive. There's nothing to report there yet, but it is one of our regular background efforts to make sure that we're ready should an opportunity arise, either legislation or a possible or a license from another community. And one of the things we put in place last month with our reorganization designation would be to open the door, prepare for one of those possibilities to support a business in town with something like that and continue to do that. And so with that,
Comment?
please.
I did want to thank you for your leadership this year, and particularly just listening to the things we were just talking about. That's the stuff that a lot of people don't see going on in the background, and you've been carrying those things for a long time. And no, but it's important, and these are all, this is all movement forward, it's incremental, but it's laying the groundwork for sort of more tools to improve the community, and it's something where you have quite a strong skill set. So thank you for that, and thank you for your leadership this year. It's been a pretty strong year, I would say, for our new mayor, not the new mayor. Yeah, thank But thank you, really appreciate your leadership. So.
Thank you. Next, Doug, we'll let you back clean up, with the success stories and updates from your.
I'll be
research report.
I'll be super brief. The mayor mentioned, the dark sky initiative for 25. Lisa and I are meeting with Mr. Ackerman on the 6th, which is Monday, to start formalizing that work, so we're getting that going. On the financials, working with Diane, closing out 2024. Very tight, but we'll make it. And as far as the dollars, we're going okay, I think. And also, we're in the process of building our 2025 budget. So that either come from the water utility, the sanitation, and the capital budget. So we're putting those all together. And just one more water item, because of the recent rains, we've been able to get well number 4 back to its maximum.
Gallons per minute.
100 gallons per minute. So that reduces our dependence on Jersey American Water.
Yep.
And I'll leave it there.
One, just maybe fault for me, we've not yet set in stone, but we're thinking, the February timeframe might be, of many things we've got going in 2025. Last month, a couple of, resolutions about, improvements that we owe our DPW team, for a public works facility, and likely, February timeframe was what we'll be able to show some of those
Yes.
to the community.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah. So our architect and Bauer engineer will be here.
Excellent. Thank you. Absent any other comments or administrator from this side of the dais, I'll open up the meeting to the, I don't know, umpteenth, public comment, session for those both in person, and online if you're online. I don't see any dial-in phones. If you dial in, hit *9 or push the raise hand button, and we'll recognize you on Zoom. Or if you're here in person, please come on down to the front to our podium. So seeing none, I'm happy to take the first motion to a meeting of 2025.
Anthony, do it again.
I move.
All right, you have a second? Yeah, thank you so much. All in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.